together, pool in their resources, and enjoy a common platform. This little Zoom meeting that we're having, Heal the Earth, is a little step in this direction. And to educate and inspire us, we have an array of three interesting persons. First among them is Father Xavier Devdas, a Salesian priest belonging to the province of Bombay, who is now stationed in Lonavala. One look at Father Xavier and you'll realize that he is a priest with a difference. He's someone who has taken his passion for the environment and then gone on to
Yes, Father Mylene, you're audible.
Okay. So for whatever I said was audible, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, getting back to Father Xavier. As I said, he's a priest with a difference who has got this very unique yet simple way of going about. He has taken his passion for the environment and nature and taken up various eco-friendly initiatives and also propagated what he calls an eco-spirituality that he has taken across to youth in and around, especially the region of Bombay. Today, he is here to speak to us about what he calls the interconnectedness between a healthy planet and healthy people. Over to you, Father Zebra.
Thank you very much, Mylene. My dear friends, I am very happy and take it as a privilege to be with you. And since we have got all the informed members, I will not explain. I'm not here to preach or to give a lecture, but I want to really share with you what I really feel in my heart. And I take this as an opportunity. So I just place few of the points before you. You can ponder, you can think, you can whatever put together. So without wasting much time, the first thing, when we're talking about ecology, we are not talking about separate Mother Earth and pollution and people and separate, but rather we are going to see it as a one whole. Whether you're a Christian, whether you're a Hindu, whether you're a Muslim, we all believe that God has created. And God has created everything, everyone. And especially in the Bible, we see it so beautifully put. And that is, we have seen, read the book of Genesis, we see God in his love creates, in his image, he creates. And he creates everything, human beings and living and non-living beings. And as a one family, he does not discriminate, he does not separate. So God wants everything to be together and one. And when God created, it was perfect. It is perfect in his sight. And that's why that harmony is also the creation. The human beings is, in this harmony, human beings is someone, when he comes inside, separates himself or herself and the environment and the world and the universe as separate. Otherwise, in God's sight, they're all one. That is why Pope Francis, in his encyclical Laudato Si, he says, oneness, a common family, a common home, the entire universe, including us, we are not apart, is one. And this sense of oneness, togetherness, is what is needed. And if we feel for each other, if we live with each other, like in our family, taking care, concern, worried, earning, protecting, and thinking and feeling and sharing. The same thing we can bring about with the universe, Mother Earth, then we can really relate and feel like a family. That's what Pope Francis is inviting us. In my opinion, the earth or the universe does not need human being as a guardian, as somebody to heal, to protect, to care, and to take forward. This universe has been here for millions of years. It has taken care of itself. It does not need human beings. Rather, the Mother Earth needs human being to feel one with this universe, come together. Otherwise, nature will take care of itself, including you and me. And then we come to the point of health. We are talking about health and sickness. It's not physical or emotional well-being or a sickness. It is, we are talking about sickness of pollution. The moment when you say pollution, we may say air pollution, water pollution, and many other pollution, sound pollution and all. The biggest pollution is the mind pollution. The pollution of the mind. When the mind is polluted, the humankind mind is polluted, it becomes selfish, greedy, and we are vigorously, and we can run after this. And from this mind, pollute all the other problems, in my opinion, originates and has its own effect. We are busy playing a game. Ball is with us and we are playing the game. But the unfortunate thing is we have shifted the goalpost. And sometimes we are also shooting, but shooting in the wrong goalpost and getting wrong results. Instead of peace, joy, harmony, compassion, health, that's what we are to be shooting, aiming at. We somehow are shooting and running after greed, lust, selfishness, corruption, and so many other things, and shooting in the wrong goal. My dear friends, if what is needed is the integration. For this we need to feel. When will you feel? These days we can see this corona situation, we can read numbers, so many are dying, so many are suffering, so many things are happening. We could be just turning the pages. But in the middle of that, if one of us identify, some of our family member is there, either in the hospital or in an accident or something, it does not remain a news. It becomes a feeling. It becomes something which really grips us. We want to do something for that. The day when we begin to feel one with the universe, one with the Mother Earth, everything will slowly fall in place. For this, we need to look at Mother Earth as our earthly mother. The one who bears, the one who cares, the one who feeds, one who protects, one is there with us. My dear friends, the moment we can relate, not intellectually, but from the heart, the Mother Earth who has fed us, feeding us, giving us water, the oxygen, the place to stay, she's caring, and so many things. And if we can really be one with us, the results would be totally different. And as we are in this difficult situation of this COVID, whole world is suffering so much. It's not this one virus, but I take it personally. I'm not worried which country produced, where is the origin, but I truly feel that it is our making. It is our making, because one minute. It is a byproduct. When we have, human beings have interfered with the world so much, and then we have created, destroyed, desecrated, looted, and so many things, then we see the climate change, global warming, change in temperatures. Definitely, we are interfering with the creation. Bacteria and the viruses, they are very, very temperature sensitive. And they begin to change, they begin to mutate, they begin to come out in different forms. It's a very frightful thing. It's just the beginning. Not lose hope. Friends, let us realize this, how precious human life is, how precious everything in this universe is. Let's come close to nature. Let's be one with it. Let's feel. Let us together support one another, and then we can all get healed. The universe, Mother Earth, share this good vibration, the goodness that we have, and there is a lot of hope. Even now, if we get up and we come together, we feel one, and we feel our own mistakes and come back to our original goal posts, I'm sure we will shoot the right goals. And that's what I'm praying for. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Father Xavier. I think your sharing was just like you, simple yet inspiring. The second resource person we have for today is Shivangi Kanodia. After more than 5 years of being a successful celebrity brand consultant, she left behind this world of glamour to fulfill her calling to be an environmental impact analyst and educator. She conducts workshops on sustainable living in several colleges and citizen collectives, thus fulfilling and dedicating her life to the advocacy of environment issues. Today, she'd like to share with us some personal initiatives on healing the earth.
Thank you. I'd like to elaborate a little bit more about my journey and how I came to doing what I'm doing right now. So when I was working with celebrities, I used to attend a lot of events with them, and I saw the sheer amount of wastage that was generated at these events. And I used to take 3 to 4 flights in a month just for meetings which now we know can easily be done virtually. So that is when I actually started questioning things. Like when I saw the wastage at events, all the food that was getting wasted, all the single-use plastics that we were using at events, I started thinking, where is all the stuff that we are wasting? Where is it going? Like that tiny Bisleri bottle that we often use at events. I used to see that same bottle on a beach when I used to go for my morning runs. Now, it might not be the same bottle that I used, that I saw at the beach, but I know somewhere somebody is using it, and we need to change that. Because that small bottle is creating pollution in the water bodies. It's harming all the species that are present in that environment. And that used to give me sleepless nights. And I knew I had to do something more, which is when I left my corporate job and I went to educate myself on the issue at hand and things that I can do at a personal level to combat these. And some of these things I'd like to share with you today. So the first thing that I started doing was I started carrying my own things whenever I stepped out of my house. And it just became a habit. Like whenever I would step out, I'd carry a reusable cloth bag with me. And this would double as, as my personal carry bag. And I would if I'm going out to get fruits or vegetables or buy anything else, I can always put it in this bag. I don't need to take another plastic bag, or in fact a paper bag also. I don't need an extra paper bag. I can always carry it in my cloth bag, which I can keep reusing again and again. Then I would also carry my reusable cutlery, uh, spoon, a fork, and straw, a steel straw, so that I don't have to use the plastic ones that are available in the market, or that we often get whenever we go out to eat anywhere. Then the second thing I did was I found bulk suppliers in my city. So, like for example, my dad, he goes out and he feeds stray animals around my house, and he used to buy those small Parle G packets whenever he would go to feed the dogs. But I went to a bakery near my house and I checked with them if they can make biscuits for me in bulk, which I can carry back home in my own container. And that is how I could stop my father from buying those small Parle G packets. And we got biscuits in bulk, which he could go out and feed to the stray dogs. Then some other simple switches that I made was I used to buy products made from bamboo. Like I bought this comb made from bamboo, then a toothbrush made out of bamboo. Simple things that are easily doable, that are not very stressful on the pocket or on the environment. And then I think one of the most important things that I did was I started composting at home. And that is when I realized that waste can be looked at as a resource also, as a source of energy. Because when I started composting, I realized that 60% of the waste that I generated in my house can be turned into nutrient-rich food for our plants. So I think the most important thing for me was to identify the kind of waste that I was generating. So if on any given day, I would take out all the waste that was thrown out of the house, I saw that the majority of it was, fruit and vegetable peels, or tea leaves or coffee leaves, that coffee grounds that were discarded in the kitchen, all of which could easily be composted. And like I said, be made into nutrient-rich food for my plants. And then I also started making my own things. Like I started making natural colors from flowers because I like painting. And that in itself was such a therapeutic process that it just gave me such a good energy. And I didn't have to go out and buy those paints available in plastic bottles that are usually there in the market. And I think lastly, it's very important that whatever we consume mindfully. Like buy only what you need, what you really, really think you need, just go and buy that. There are so many times that when we are out in the market, we go and mindlessly shop for things. I think that is a habit that we need to change as a collective. And just these little steps made me reduce the waste that I generated at a personal level from so much to so little. I don't live a completely zero waste lifestyle. There are still times where things are thrown in the dustbin in my house also. But I think it's not about doing things perfectly. Even if we make these small changes, whatever little we can at the moment, I think it's going to make a very, very big impact. And I know it's a very, very hard time for all of us together. but doing as much as our mental health allows us to do, and taking care of ourselves is more important than I think stressing about what we can do, what we can't do. So whatever is available, I really request, whatever is possible, I really request all of you to just try and do as much. And just I think I'd like to close with one last point. I'd really urge all of you to look around your city, and if you see any dump yard, or if you see any water body that is being polluted by the society or by any industry, make sure what the source of that pollution is. Make sure that you know what the source is. Uh, just study a little bit more about it and question these things around you. So if you see a dump yard which is where people are mindlessly dumping things, just question it and understand why. And then maybe if you can talk to your local authority or the municipality about it, I think that is going to make a lot of change within you and within your surroundings also. So I'd really request all of you to just slow down and look around you to these things that we often overlook in our day-to-day lives. And with that, I'd like to wish all of you a very happy Earth's Day. And I hope you continue doing the things you do to protect it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shivangi, for those several personal initiatives which are both very easily doable, yet easy on the pocket. But I guess more importantly, for enlightening us to bring about this shift or a change in our mindset where we go about reducing the amount of waste that we generate. Thank you so much. Our third resource person for today is Sister Melissa D'Souza, who is a Salesian nun based now in Karansalam, belonging to the Salesian Sisters province of Mumbai. The numerous activities that she takes up for students and youth, especially in the place where she is based, is a testament of her love for the environment. She is here with a very simple message: let's do something.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yes, sister.
Okay. So good evening, everybody. A very special thanks to Father Xavier and our second speaker, Shivangi, because they are really witnesses for us, I think, that we can really look up to and follow. So to begin with, I would like to start it this way. Suppose if I am having a picture of the solar system, and I introduce to you all the planets like Pluto, Jupiter, Saturn, and then I come to Earth and I say, see, this is a planet we call home. It has looked after millions of people before us. It is looking after millions of people now, and it will look after millions of people after us. This planet called home, our Mother Earth, had a different type of people, okay, people with different temperaments. Now, among these millions of people that Earth looked after are some people who really cared for the Earth, who created forests, who planted trees, who took care of animals, birds, and, made a beautiful environment around them. But among these millions of people, there were some who destroyed the forests for their own greed, who killed animals, who really destroyed things around them and didn't do anything to help this Mother Earth. Once, when I was preparing myself for World Water Day, when I looked at the pictures of the ocean, I was in tears. Our ocean is full of filth, and there are animals who are getting choked, like these turtles and all just getting choked. There are these other animals whose stomachs are full of plastic. They cannot understand like how we humans do. So among these millions who are now present living, we too fall in the same category. There are some among us who are here contributing to build, to promote life, and there are some among us who are destroying. Now we need to ask ourselves, which category do I belong to? At once we get on the defensive. We say, but I am not cutting a tree. I am not throwing things in the ocean. I am not creating those landfills, but we don't realize that one small act of us makes a big difference. Who can say that I have never thrown even a sweet wrapper on the road? I'm sure all of us have done something or the other that has been a destructive act towards Mother Earth. All of us, in some way or the other, have contributed to its destruction. Many times, if we say, what have I done? At once we say, okay, we play the blame game. We say the government is responsible, or this particular country is responsible, or this minister is not doing anything. But have I ever asked, what am I doing? Okay, Shivangi has beautifully given us real practical steps that she does. Many of us are doing, no doubt. And as she said, we are not perfect. And there are few things that we still can improve upon, those of us who are doing things. Those of us who have not really even thought of the destructive steps that I'm taking can start to think about it. Like, I'll just give you an example. I also, as Father Mylan also introduced myself, somebody who loves the earth. A few days back, I had this desire to eat this lava cake. And so I just expressed this desire to one of the teachers, and she bought a lava cake for me. Oh my, I enjoyed that lava cake. It gave me pleasure for around 1 minute. But I generated waste. I had the plastic bag in which the teacher brought it for me. I had the plastic spoon, and I had that small piece of that aluminum foil. 3 pieces of waste because of a stupid desire of mine. Okay, many of them say, it's okay, sister, you eat it just once in a way. But many of us do everything just once in a way. Sometimes I just throw a plastic bag and say, okay, just one. What can one plastic bag do? But there are millions of people who are saying the same thing. What can one plastic bag do? Or one toothbrush which lands up in the sea. It's just one toothbrush. But there are so many people who are saying that it's just one. And so we contribute to so much of waste. Mother Teresa had beautifully said, you cannot feed the hungry world, but you can feed at least one hungry person. So we cannot do much, but we can do little. And that little of each one will lead to this much. Now, today we need to ask ourselves, what can I do? We have seen the effects of climate change. The temperatures are really rising. Our earth, there are garbage heaps everywhere, garbage on either sides of the road. Our seas are polluted. We know the air is getting polluted. Those of us who are a little older will know that we had so much of empty space where we could even play. But today there is nothing. So this question, I think all of us on this earth, they need to ask ourselves, what can I do? So now for the next 5 minutes, we are going to have a small discussion. Discussion means I request you to share some practical things that we could do, because my small action, my small suggestion can make a big difference. So I request you, whoever wants to say something, please unmute yourself. And just in a sentence, maybe I can just give one practical suggestion that I can do to, as today's theme said, to heal my earth or to heal our earth. So anybody would like to begin?
Segregation of waste. Wet and dry.
That's a very practical step, actually. As even Shivangi said, all our kitchen waste can really create wonderful manure for our plants. And then the rest, of course, can be recycled.
Lessen the use of tissue paper.
Fantastic. Really true.
Use long-lasting bulbs like the LEDs instead of the incandescent bulbs and the CFLs. Then think
Fantastic.
of using renewable batteries, and the long-term, try to for long-term savings and benefit to the earth, install solar panels if possible, without counting the cost or the expenses cost to our pocket.
That's true. That's really a wonderful suggestion.
Using half-used sheets.
Using?
Half-used sheets.
Very true. Yeah, very true. No, many times, even here when we are in school, especially, sometimes it doesn't cost the clerks and the peons. They don't, I mean, they are so careless with the use of paper. And then sometimes when I go and tell them, they say, what are you crying for this one piece of paper? But as again, I said, each one contributes to so much, so much of waste. And I think we need to think more of what we are leaving for the future generation. I think our generation, we have had quite a bit of enjoyment. I mean, regards to the environment, we have enjoyed quite a bit. I wonder what will be there for the future generation with the increase in air pollution, scarcity of water, destruction of our land, destruction of our forests. I really wonder what we are keeping for our younger generation.
Sister, we all have bikes and vehicles at home, but if I can walk a distance to the church, or I can walk to my school, or I can walk to my college, or from Vadala station, from Vadala, can I walk to the station instead of taking a taxi or something like that?
Yeah, that's very
To
true.
save money, energy, as well as pollution.
That's very true. Even carpooling. Sometimes it is like many of us are going to the same place. We would only decide to travel together. Okay, now in this COVID situation, we are a bit careful. But otherwise, this carpooling is a very good idea. There is somebody disturbing.
Avoid using bottled water as much as possible. Carry your own water.
Yeah, you mean these PET bottles?
Yes. It would reduce
Yes,
so much
true.
more plastic waste.
There are many who have now begun carrying glass bottles. That's really a nice initiative.
But for every function and for every seminar and things that I use, we use so much of this plastic bottles.
True.
I think using cloth masks, like right now we need to use masks, of course, and using cloth masks is a great way to not use the polyester ones that are available in the market.
Very true, very true. Okay, I think with this, I hand over the...
Melissa, 1 minute, one more thing. Saying no to plastic consciously, really, that would be the one great thing.
Very true,
Sister Melissa does that all the time.
Not all the time. I also fail actually, but I am actually conscious about it. Our plastics are our oceans are full of plastic. If you just look for pictures, I'm sure there'll be tears in your eyes. Animals are dying because of plastic in the ocean, and we have no right to kill them just because they cannot speak.
True.
So with this, I hand over the mic to Mylin, Father Mylin.
Thank you so much, sister, for enlightening us how even the little things that we do can maybe just drops in the ocean, but it goes a long way in us contributing towards the benefit of the environment, and then for leading us into a discussion where we could share the little ways in which we could care for the environment. We now have a few moments in case any of you would like to ask any of our resource persons any questions, you may do so. I guess all our resource persons are
Father Mylin, one more thing I want to ask. I want to ask resource person, ask you also.
Sure, sister.
Father, we could network together, Normally, something starts like this and it ends here. It should not happen. Something should start here and continue. Like, for example, we could join hands with Shivangi. We could join hands with Father Xavier and form a network. Because there are nearly 56 participants, 55 participants. So something should come up from this circle of us. So, on this earth day, we must pledge something. Now, you do something, I do something, so Melissa does something. No, we could network with other NGOs and do something for Mother Earth. Then it will be more fruitful. Networking goes a long way, Father.
Any of our resource persons have any initiatives where you would like the others to join in?
No, I think
Sister, do
Sister
you have any
Lavita,
suggestions?
yeah, I think Sister Lavita herself is connected to some NGOs, so maybe she could maybe put on the chat or something, so we also can, others, especially who are around Mumbai, can get in touch with them. Because even of late, a lot of plastic, which usually goes to the to outside on the road there in Vadala, has been now recently collected and taken for recycling. So she has assured that it doesn't it doesn't go to the landfill. So I think all of us, if we could think of it that way, Sister Lavita, maybe you yourself could give them the contact.
Can I say something regarding this?
Yeah, please.
I have been in touch with this Bisleri Bottles for Change, and they come and collect plastic. As my respect for Mother Earth, my respect for this NGO Bottles for Change, I wash every plastic which is unclean, which is dirty, and I give them, and I give them this clean plastic. Just 2 days ago, I got in touch with another NGO, and they told me they collect everything. I mean to say everything, from glass, bottles, everything. So I could get in touch with, especially it happens in Mumbai, so I can tell about Mumbai. So I can give my contact number and we can have a network, at least in Mumbai. So for the Mylene who is in Matunga, others, I don't know who are the participants who are in Mumbai, we could network together, and I can speak to this person and we could join hands together and save little Mumbai which is left. So that's all I can do. I'll send my number on the chat. If you are interested, kindly contact.
Thanks, sister.
I think for staying connected, I can just put in my social media handle here. So if anybody wants to get in touch with me or share something, please feel free to do that. And if anybody needs any sort of help in understanding, anything about waste management, or needs any help in reaching out to a local authority to tackle the situation, please reach out to me.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
I guess with this, we can come to a close to this little initiative that Father Leon brought about. And we've had so many participants showing their love, showing their care for the environment. It's been nice listening to our resource persons. It's been educative, it's been inspiring, and I'm sure it has spurred each one of us to develop this very important change in mindset, where we make this very conscious effort to take little yet important steps to conserve the environment. I'd like to end this little session with a prayer based on Pope Francis's encyclical on the care for the earth, Laudato Si. All-powerful God, you are present in the whole universe and in the smallest of your creatures. You embrace with your tenderness all that exists. Pour out upon us the power of your love, that we may protect life and beauty. Fill us with peace, that we may live as brothers and sisters, harming no one. Bring healing to our lives, that we may protect the world and not prey on it, that we may sow beauty, not pollution and destruction. Touch the hearts of those who look only for gain at the expense of the poor and the earth. Teach us to discover the worth of each thing, to be filled with awe and contemplation, to recognize that we are profoundly united with every creature as we journey towards your infinite light. We thank you for being with us each day. Encourage us, we pray, in our struggle for justice, love, and peace. A happy birthday to each one of you. May you continue doing a little bit to save Mother Earth. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank